One of the 21st century's most important areas of medical research is the understanding and treatment of blood-related diseases. In developed countries like Australia, blood disease disorders affect about 80% of the population at some stage of their lives. 1 in every 100 Australians is diagnosed annually with blood cancers such as leukemia and lymphoma, and more than 75% will require a blood transfusion. In the Victorian state capital city of Melbourne, this world-class facility is providing significant advances in our knowledge and treatment of blood diseases and blood clotting. The Australian Centre for Blood Diseases, or ACBD, is a purpose-built, fully integrated blood centre with impressive clinical, research and educational capabilities.
The Alfred Hospital is a premier teaching facility in Melbourne, and in this capacity, the integration of the Australian Centre for Blood Diseases with the clinical services that the Alfred provides gives us a very unique opportunity to help patients who have got blood problems with the latest innovations in treatment or diagnostics that we can provide them with.
The Australian Centre for Blood Diseases is perfectly positioned to engage the work that we're doing. We are located in a precinct in AMREP which incorporates the Baker Heart Research Institute, the Burnet Institute, the Department of Immunology and all the clinical departments of the Alfred Hospital. Where else, what better place could you get to have a research here that's centred on blood clotting? I mean, this is the place to be. Nationally, no doubt, this is the centre in Australia for this sort of research.
The Alfred Hospital has a wealth of clinical haematologists and patients with a 28-bed dedicated ward. The research conducted here is at the cutting edge of clinical medicine and is essential to the development of new tests and therapies for patients.
The transplants made a huge difference to my life because the chemotherapy alone failed to induce remission, and in other words, it wasn't going to cure me of AML. So the transplant was my chance at a future.
Patient outcomes, I think, are very significantly impacted upon by the services that we offer here. It's an opportunity to take research from the bench into the clinical arena and apply it in the clinic, which really is an opportunity to improve patient outcomes. The resources that we have here at the Alfred also allow us to integrate care very well, and we have a lot of facilities and resources on site which allow us to provide optimal patient care.
With haemophilia, blood doesn't clot, so that it can stop you from doing a lot of things, you know, from doing any contact sports or high impact things.
12 months ago physically he was in a wheelchair, so this has been a remarkable improvement. It has coincided with the introduction for Andrew of a product that has been more successful in him, and so he's had the opportunity to have his bleeds more effectively treated, and that's given him a lot more confidence. And he's moved forward with it. And he treats himself at home, of course, with early signs of bleeding, so he's taken on himself the opportunity to look after himself really well.
Up until I was about 10 to 11 years old, I had no treatment whatsoever until we started getting treatments in from elsewhere, Nova 7 and FIBA. They've been a godsend.
I think it is critical that patients are given the opportunities to try the latest advances in medicine, and medicine moves at a very fast pace, and unless we have an integrated organization, it will be very difficult for patients to access the new treatments and novel treatments for their conditions.
ACBD's laboratories are equipped with state-of-the-art technology which enables our researchers to observe the body's reactions to disease and injury at a cellular level. And one of the key areas of research is the study of blood clotting. While blood clots normally form to prevent excessive bleeding following an injury, the same process is responsible for the formation of harmful clots that may block blood vessels, causing heart attack or stroke. A clearer understanding of how clots form can lead to better prevention and help us develop therapeutic drugs for these life-threatening conditions.
Well, the platelet's really the key cell in the blood. It's not as well known to people as perhaps the red blood cells, which carry your oxygen, or the white cells, which you fight infection, but it's the platelet which is central to clotting, and it's really the cell that the pharmaceutical industry has focused on for many years, trying to develop new drugs. So it's the cornerstone of understanding heart disease and strokes, and it's really the central cell that we're looking at in our research.
My arm stopped working, and I thought, well, there's something wrong, so I went downstairs to tell my husband that my arm wasn't working. And when I went to say, my arm's not working, it came out, well, I couldn't speak. It was slurred, it was gibberish, so my husband called an ambulance.
And so when you were taken to the hospital, what happened to you there?
Well, they gave me a CAT scan and they discovered that I had a stroke, and then they gave me the drug TPA, and yeah, I'm very lucky because here I am and I'm functioning, I don't have any problems.
None of the human body's cells contributes as much to death and disability as the platelet, which is why platelets are a major target for ACBD's Thrombosis Research Unit. Professor Sean Jackson leads an international team, significantly improving our knowledge of platelet behaviour during hemostasis, when platelets collect at the site of a damaged blood vessel to form a plug. Whilst this is a natural, healthy process, it can become life-threatening within diseased blood vessels, when an abnormal platelet plug forms, otherwise known as an arterial thrombosis.
We've been looking at molecules called fibrinolytic drugs, which are designed to break down fibrin, in other words, break down blood clots. One of the molecules that we'll be looking at is derived from the saliva of a vampire bat, of all things, and that's proven to be remarkably successful both in the lab and in clinical trials. It might be a new beginning for patients with stroke.
Associate Professor Robert Metcalf heads the ACBD's Fibrinolysis and Gene Regulation Unit, where research is being conducted into the influence of the plasminogen activating system on cognitive memory, visual processing and neurodegeneration.
The calibre of research in this lab is world class. It's in the top 5 or 10% of labs worldwide in the field of cell biology, fibrinolysis and understanding how blood clots are broken down and formed.
One of the commonest forms of blood cancers is multiple myeloma. Each year, approximately 1,200 Australians are diagnosed with multiple myeloma at a median age of 65 years. And tragically, despite significant improvements in the management of myeloma over the past decade, the disease remains fatal in all cases. The ACBD's Myeloma Research Group is working on the evaluation of therapeutic agents for myeloma based on clinical trials. The Australian Centre for Blood Diseases hosts dynamic postgraduate, PhD and honours programs, teaches students enrolled in Bachelor of Science and Bachelor of Biomedical Sciences degrees, and provides clinical training in haematology to undergraduate students and specialist doctors in training.
The main reason why I've chosen to come to start my career as a registrar here exposes you to hemostasis thrombosis or blood clotting, haemophilia, malignant haematology, bone marrow transplantation, laboratory work and the research side of things. So it gives you a great breadth of learning, especially in your beginning your career as a haematologist.
For students at the Australian Centre for Blood Diseases, we offer a range of different positions, from undergraduate, where they can get some experience in the lab on a day-to-day basis, to postgraduate students doing their honours degree as well as their PhD or their doctorate.
For the ACBD, I've had the fortunate experience of going to several international conferences, and that's given me a really great opportunity to form international contacts and collaborators.
An ACBD educational initiative is to keep general practitioners up to date with the diagnosis and treatment of blood-related diseases on a regular basis. The graduates and researchers attracted by ACBD's reputation and facilities enjoy an excellent lifestyle whilst they are here. The centre is a short tram ride from Melbourne's vibrant central business district, renowned for its theatres, restaurants, retail and nightlife. And only minutes from tranquil parkland, the beaches of Port Phillip Bay, colourful fresh food markets, world-class sporting facilities, and fashionable South Yarra and Paran shopping and entertainment precincts.
Speaking from experience, I myself have studied at the ACBD for 12 years, and I've gone overseas and have come back here and realised that the standard that we have at the ACBD is world class, second to none. So it's quite pleasing that the science that we do here and the training that students will receive at the ACBD is world class.
The Australian Centre for Blood Diseases is at the forefront of exploring the complex workings of one of the body's most amazing and most important systems, improving our understanding and treatment in an exciting field of medical discovery where there is still so much to be revealed.